What's the worst thing you've ever found in your food at a restaurant? Glass. When I was in 7th grade, my family was eating one of those big family style salads at an Olive Garden. I am weird and eat salad with a spoon. I put a spoonful of salad into my mouth and felt something cut the inside of my cheek while I bit down on something hard. I pulled out a bloody chunk of glass. The restaurant accused us of lying, even though we didn't ask for anything in return. We just wanted to let them know so no one else got hurt. Plus, if we were going to lie, why would my parents have chosen their 13-year-old daughter to be the target of salad glass? They did end up comping me and my dad's meals, but we still paid for my mom's and other siblings. A very late edit. This happened in Iowa. And if you all know anything about how Midwestern people are, we're way too nice, and my parents both have anxiety disorders lol. The last 2 times I went to Steak and Shake, I got earrings in my shakes both times. One was a stud earring and the other was a hoop. I wouldn't eat there ever again even if it was my only choice. Maybe that's a special they're doing. Collect 5 sets of trendy earrings. Only at Steak and Shake. An entire rat snake in a No. 10-sized can of green beans. The guess was his crawled into the can at some point and just got filled with beans and then retorted. The can guy said it probably drowned before it was cooked. Poor fella. If you tell me it didn't spring out like one of those novelty prank cans, I'll be very disappointed. I used bandage with blood on it in my guacamole. Yay, found it when it went into my mouth. Back when I was a teenager, I had a job at a fast food restaurant. That morning, while doing prep, I cut my finger. I put a band-aid on it and continued working. Later in the shift, while I was frantically making sandwiches, the band-aid was lost. I've often wondered who found that on their sandwich. There were no complaints, so it may have been consumed. Not really a restaurant, but my uni's cafeteria. I took the salad. There was the corpse of a frog neatly cut in half. Another guy found the other half. No clue how it got there. Cut in half how? Lengthwise or at the waist? It's not important. But I am really curious. A staple in my Chinese food. To be fair, Chinese food is a staple. Worst thing I found in my food was what turned out to be cardboard from the box of mushrooms but was unidentifiable when I pulled it out of my mouth initially. Worst thing my boyfriend found in his food. An M&M in a burrito from Taco Bell. That may or may not have been dropped out of the mouth of the person who made the burrito at Taco Bell. It was horrific. The mystery. My BF called the Taco Bell and demanded to know if because it was the holidays people had been throwing around M&Ms or something. The manager looked in the back and said, "Huh. Now that you said it, I am seeing a lot of M&Ms back here." I was at a local restaurant chain, Northeast US, and ordered a buffalo chicken wrap. Got about halfway in and bit into a large metal bolt and chipped my tooth. Not a good time. 0/10 recommend. The same thing happened to me with a rock. I wondered how the FCK a rock got in my potato skins. It turns out the rocks can grow into the actual potato in the ground. Or so I was told. A tooth inside my hamburger. I was too scared to ask why that happened. So I just threw it away and got out of the place. This happened to me when I was a kid. But it turned out to be my tooth. A completely raw chicken wing covered in sauce in a basket of cooked chicken wings. A cabinet hinge in a salad. Went to Cracker Barrel and ordered fried liver. Every piece was raw. Just breaded blood. I was given a dirty spoon at the local Waffle House. When I asked for a replacement, the waitress got upset and gave me a long explanation as why the dirty spoon was not her fault since the previous shift had washed them. I simply replied, "But you are the one that gave it to me." I don't think she liked me. Not me. But when I was at Panera, my friend found an Allen wrench in her salad. Like, how TF does that happen? What? I just posted about my mom finding a bolt the size of an orange in her Panera salad. The FCK is going on. Panera? Not restaurant, but close enough. Not even sure I want to. I still throw up at this story. Ordered Domino's pizza. Started eating. Got down to the last 2 slices. Saw a slithery slimy thing and lifted up the slice to a used condom. It had leaked all over my other slices, but I didn't notice and assumed greasy TC. Was hungry. Drove down to the store and asked for the manager. No such luck. Got photos and went to higher up. Turns out 2 employees having sex. I'll presume fired. I got given a code for the online website. Free pizza for a year. But like hell. I'd ate 6 slices of semen pizza. When I was working at a hospital in the dietary department, we had a pizza day one day of the month. So we got in pre-made crusts so we could make the pizzas quickly. Made them all and proceeded to slice them when one of them had an electrical wire coiled up throughout the entire base of the pizza. I was like 15 or 16 at the time, and I remember being absolutely shocked at how an entire wire could be coiled into a pizza crust. The wire was like a teal color and the color had leaked into the surrounding dough. Man, that was messed up. A large mosquito-looking fly with an incredibly long proboscis in a salad I was eating. I turned over one leaf of lettuce and it was laid out beautifully with the proboscis fully unfurled. It looked like a fossil. Perfectly preserved in vinaigrette. Like it almost had to have been placed that way on purpose. I don't think I was a DCK to that waiter, but maybe? They was probably a crane fly. I found a full receipt crumpled up into the size of a marble in the gravy of a Yorkshire pudding at an English pub style restaurant. I bit on it. Was confused. Pulled it out of my mouth and unwrapped a full legible receipt. From the night before. I showed the waiter and he said he'd talk to the owner. The owner said I could choose to pay my bill. Or the receipt I found in my food. The total on the receipt I found was almost $30 more than what I ordered. I was shocked with the service and never went back. I also left without paying. FCK that place. A giant chunk of hair in my salad. Like. It wasn't even a good prank because as soon as I started mixing it, I saw this massive chunk of hair and stopped. I sent it back and the waitress asked, "Would you like a replacement salad?" I said, "Hell no. I wanna pay whatever I owe for the drinks and go somewhere else." Double quote. She got the manager that I definitely didn't ask for or want to speak to. Manager said drinks were on the house and asked me to stay and let him make it up to us. I politely declined since he was being so polite. I took my free drinks and left. Never went back there again. I did get about $30 or $40 worth of free alcohol out of it though. I didn't ask for it. But it was nice of him to do that. My girlfriend at the time was so grossed out by this giant ball of hair that she actually started dry heaving. That's what got the waitress's attention. Nothing but tomatoes after telling the dude to put everything but tomatoes. I went to McDonald's and wanted a bunless burger, keto, and ended up getting a set of buns. My fault for not checking the bag before leaving, but man was I pissed. Worms. I'm a chef and all of the monkfish has to be checked for parasites when we get it. Any fish can have parasites, but monkfish is the only one where I have to cut the wiggling bastards out myself. It's safe to eat, but I won't order it anymore. No matter how delicious it is. Ignorance is bliss. That's why I don't eat raw oysters. One year for my wife's birthday I got a box of oysters and grilled them. While I was grilling, the rest of the family was slurping up raw ones. The reason I don't eat raw oysters anymore was because the next day as I was throwing the box out was when I noticed the dozens of segmented worms and other parasites that live in the oysters were still in the box just chilling. I got a cream cheese baguette on the go and was eating it while walking. Did not really look at what I was biting into. One bit was quite difficult to chew. And I pulled a finger of a latex glove out of my mouth. Could be worse. At least it wasn't a latex condom, although I guess gloves are technically hand condoms. An inch-long bolt in my mashed potatoes. Fortunately I found it with my fork. And not my teeth. The Martretti informed me later that the bolt had fallen off of their industrial mixer. I like the people that take responsibility like this. Client bit into a shard of metal in his beef soup. Broke his tooth. Got $10K from the restaurant. A piece of copper in my egg roll. And once I found metal bristles from a scrub brush in my lobster roll. It's called getting your minerals. Pubes at the bottom of my fries from In-N-Out that I found after I already ate the fries. I feel queasy every time I see In-N-Out fries. Live laugh on my pico de gallo at a vegan chain restaurant. I emailed their corporate customer relations about it and they dismissively responded with something along the lines of we use all organic ingredients so this is to be expected. Too organic for me. Now I love the taste and consistency of Lindt chocolate balls. But I purchased an assorted bag and bit into a white chocolate ball to see the inner creamy chocolate portion. And staring back at me was a human hair half sticking right out at me. Smack dab in the middle. Took pictures and sent to Lindt. They thought they'd make it good with me. By sending me more chocolate. Not really a restaurant. Or a thing. But one time I picked up some Jack in the Box for breakfast one lazy morning and when I opened up the sandwich I ordered there was a bite taken out of just the sausage patty. I was both confused and pissed off. Just like WTF. I called Jack in the Box and they said that it wasn't a bite mark but that a conveniently shaped segment of the sausage patty had just fallen off and that they had found the missing part. They gave me a new sandwich. I'm not sure I buy their story though. Bizarre experience lol. Half a green caterpillar in my salad. Denny's. Camelback Road. Phoenix. Gross. But at least insects in fresh produce is somewhat expected. My brother and I went to eat at a Mexican restaurant. And I came in a few minutes after him. We ate through that basket of chips. And we brought a refill. But the chewed up gum in the wrapper was facing me instead of him this time. I turned around and said, "Gross. I don't want your nasty chewed up gum on my side." His eyes got as big as saucers. And he said, "That's not my gum." Dot. The restaurant did not change the pieces of wax paper in the bottom of the chip basket. My brother immediately spit the mouthful of chewed up chips and salsa into the chip basket. And we notified our waiter. We saw our waiter pick up the basket of chips. Walking into the kitchen. Dump the whole thing in the top of the chip warmer. Yes. My brother's chewed up chips were dumped into the restaurant's supply of chips. I was eating my combo meal at a fast food chain and in my fries there was a long blonde hair. Not mine, I have brown curly hair. So we take the meal back to the restaurant and show the manager. She refunds our money and puts us in the books for a free combo meal the next time. Next time around we go get the free one. Guess what was in it? A long straight brown hair. We take it back and again she refunds us. It happened a third time and we haven't been back to that location since. That location was the closest to my house so that is why we kept going to that one. Nothing is wrong with the chain. Just that location. I guess all ended well because that location closed due to coronavirus. Oh well. One time my family ordered pizza for takeout from a local pizza place. When we got home and opened it there was a huge tangled hairball on the pizza. It was a hairball the size of a golf ball at least. I have no idea how that could happen. Went to McDonald's years and years ago. Ordered a McChicken. Took a huge bite. Tasted funny. Blue moldy lettuce. Like. When you're making the food how can you not tell the lettuce is moldy? It was all blue. In my 6 years at McDonald's. I've never seen moldy lettuce before. Who in their right mind would serve that? Part of a screw. I had to assume it came from the industrial shelving in the kitchen. When I brought it to their attention they offered me a free meal. Next time. There wasn't one. Primarily because they closed down. Bit into a grilled chicken sandwich that was almost 100% gristle. Most disgusting bite of my life. I went to Rally's Checkers and ordered a big chicken. Took a big bite because I was hungry and it was completely raw in the middle. Was disgusting. Not my story but years ago someone ordered a pizza from a semi-fancy pizza place. Not Pizza Hut budget but not 5-star restaurant. When they got the pizza they found there was a squished rat on the bottom of the base. Ratatouille went splatter towel. I had a small dead roach in a bowl of butter once. I was sitting at the bar and so when I saw it and freaked out. The bartender equally freaked out and she very apologetically replaced it. It's the South. It was raining. They had the bowls of butter under the bar ready to hand out with the bread. So I didn't storm out or anything. Shit happens. Not a restaurant. But I opened a large bag of chips once and found a factory worker's glove inside. Not so much disgusted as I was baffled. I'd say a bunch of hairs in my cheese. I continued eating after the first and second. I'm not picky. Was hungry, but then they just started coming and I found more than 10. I wonder how that food was prepared. I feel ya there. I found a couple long black hairs, at least 12 inches long, in my favorite Mexican food. Pulled those fuckers out and ate the rest of the dish. Still go there every week. I Jaffa. I went a local chain restaurant and ordered a steak salad. I started choking halfway through the meal and couldn't cough out the foreign object. I ran to the bathroom and made myself throw up only to find out that it was an aluminum bread tie that had been lodged in my throat. Never went back. It looked exactly like a tiny brain. But I found it inside a piece of fried chicken, so I'm guessing it was a kidney or something. But you. I used to love Burger King's $1 spicy chicken sandwiches back in the day, not sure if they still sell it. Last time I ate it, I took a bite and noticed the chicken, which was orange on the outside, was completely black in the inside. Like the whole chicken patty was black in the inside. Either cooked too much to the point it's charred, wouldn't have orange skin though, or rotten. I received a sandwich with shards of what must have been half a dozen toothpicks. An entire spoon buried beneath a refried beans and rice plate. Waitress told me the cook left the spoon on there on accident and absent-mindedly dumped the food on there. Honest mistake. Believe it or not. A cockroach leg at a restaurant that I frickin' worked at. The chef thought I was pulling his leg at first but saw it was the cockroach that had his leg pulled. All I'm seeing in this thread is a bunch of flavor enhancers. Except for the guy that found a used condom in his pizza. A coworker of mine wanted to go to Hooters after work. I begrudgingly went. He ordered onion rings. Took a bite of one. And a very large clump of hair was fried into the batter. Indian restaurant on St. Mark's and Nick was almost finished with my dal soup when I finally got around to scooping out a medium-sized object I'd felt with my spoon at the bottom of the bowl. I thought it was maybe a big cardamom seed, and found a giant cockroach. I'd already eaten most of the soup. My friends were all like, dude, you need to get a free dinner at least, but I just felt bad for the cooks. I figured it was an honest mistake. My grandfather once opened a can of peas and found a full human thumb floating on top. He never ate peas again. Cannery accidents once were much more common than they are today. Plus, if a thumb was severed and lost, the entire lot of cans would be destroyed, so as to prevent this situation from occurring. Not a restaurant but my high school cafeteria. I bought rice from them. I live in Asia, and as I set my food on the table, a swarm of ants crawled out of the rice. Turns out they served me an expired food and had ants making a nest in my rice. I'd never been so horrified in my life. I've been in F&B for many years. Worst thing that went to a table was a glass shard in the guest's drink. Calmed everything and filed an incident report in case they needed medical attention. We also once found a black widow in the grapes package as we were putting away produce. Another time I cut a tumor out of a swordfish while breaking it down. We went to a well-known wing place. My kids, 4 and 6, wanted to try wings for the first time. I didn't get wings, so I asked my daughter for a bite of hers. The wings were completely raw. My usually intelligent kids were chowing down on raw chicken. I guess the kids thought that's how wings worked. The waitress did not care that raw chicken was served to little kids. She didn't even comp for the wings that obviously were not going to be eaten. Normally I never complain, but these are little kids. Needless to say, they got McDonald's on the way home.